Have you ever felt like everything around you is being stripped away? Friends stop calling, relationships fall apart, doors that once seemed wide open suddenly slam shut. You look around and it feels like you're standing all by yourself, trying to figure out where to go next. But let me tell you something, you're not alone. You're not forgotten. You're not being punished. God is isolating you for a reason. See, when God is about to do something amazing in your life, when He's preparing you for greater, He doesn't do it in the crowd. He doesn't do it while you're distracted, comfortable, or surrounded by noise. No. He pulls you aside, sits you down, and begins to work on you in private. He removes the things, the people, and the situations that no longer serve His plan for your life. And in that season, it may feel like a punishment, like you're being overlooked, like nothing has happened. But don't be fooled. God is setting you up for something big. It's in isolation that God refines you, strengthens you, and prepares you. It's in the quiet places that He speaks to you the loudest. And if you can trust Him in that place, if you can hold on through the discomfort of isolation, you will step into blessings beyond anything you ever imagined. Now, let's talk about why God isolates you before He blesses you. When God isolates you, it's never without purpose. There is a divine reason behind the solitude, behind the quiet, behind the moments where you feel cut off from the world. It may seem like everything familiar is being stripped away, but in reality, God is setting the stage for something far greater. He takes you away from the distractions, the noise, and the influences that could keep you from stepping into His plan. He creates a space where it's just you and Him. Because there are things He needs to teach you, things He needs to show you, and growth that must take place before you can handle what's coming next. Look at the lives of those who walked before you. Men and women chosen by God were often called into a season of separation before their purpose was revealed. David was alone in the fields tending sheep before he ever faced Goliath. Moses spent years in the wilderness before he stood before Pharaoh. Joseph was betrayed and left in a prison cell before he sat on the throne of Egypt. Even Jesus, the Son of God, spent 40 days alone in the desert before stepping into His ministry. God's pattern has always been to separate before He elevates. When He has something powerful planned for your life, He doesn't rush you into it unprepared. He takes His time, refining you, strengthening you, stripping away what is unnecessary, and molding you into the person who can carry the weight of the blessing. This process is not easy. It's uncomfortable. It will make you question why you're being left out, why things seem to be moving forward for everyone else while you feel stuck. But what looks like stagnation is actually transformation. What feels like delay is actually development. God is doing something in the hidden places, in the unseen moments, deep within your soul. He is breaking old mindsets, healing wounds that you may not even realize you have, and building endurance that you will need for the road ahead. When God isolates you, He is not punishing you, He is preparing you. He sees what you cannot see. He knows what is waiting for you on the other side. And He knows that if you step into that blessing too soon, if you enter that next level without the wisdom, the strength, and the character that this season is meant to build, you will not be able to sustain it. He is refining your heart, sharpening your spirit, and deepening your faith so that when the moment comes, you will be ready. There are things God wants to pour into you that can only be received in stillness. There are lessons that require silence. There are revelations that only come when you are removed from the distractions of daily life. You may feel alone, but in this season you are actually closer to God than ever before. He is speaking in ways that you may not recognize yet. He is aligning your steps with His perfect timing. He is working behind the scenes, moving pieces into place, preparing people, situations, and opportunities that will unfold exactly when they are meant to. This is a sacred time. It is a necessary process. And though it may feel lonely, though it may feel confusing, though it may even feel unfair at times, know this. God is setting you apart for something greater. He is getting you ready for the doors that are about to open, for the blessings that are about to pour out, for the purpose that is about to be revealed. The isolation is not the end of the story. It is only the beginning of something extraordinary. There are times in life when God pulls you away from the noise, the busyness, and the constant distractions that fight for your attention. It may feel sudden, like everything that once kept you engaged has been stripped away, leaving you in an unfamiliar quiet. But understand this, God is not taking something from you. He is giving you something greater. He is creating space for you to hear him more clearly, for you to grow in wisdom, and for you to step into the purpose he has designed specifically for you. The world is filled with distractions. Every day your mind is pulled in 100 different directions. Social media, entertainment, relationships, responsibilities, and endless demands. It's easy to get so caught up in the chaos that you forget to listen to the one who holds your future. That's why God sometimes steps in and removes certain distractions. Not as a punishment, but as a divine act of love. He knows that what he has for you cannot be received when your mind is clouded, when your heart is entangled in things that are not meant for you, and when your spirit is too busy to recognize his voice. When God separates you from distractions, it may feel like loss at first. You might notice friendships fading, opportunities closing, or certain habits no longer satisfying you. You may feel like everything is shifting and you're standing in a place of uncertainty, wondering why things are changing so quickly. But what seems like loss is actually redirection. God is removing what no longer serves your destiny. He is pulling you away from anything that has the potential to block your blessings. There are people in your life who were only meant to be there for a season, and when God sees that they are keeping you from where he is taking you, he will remove them. There are activities that once brought you comfort but now feel empty because God is calling you to a higher level. There are conversations that used to excite you but now they drain you because God is renewing your mind. The things that once entertained you may now feel meaningless because God is shifting your focus. It is not always easy to let go of what is familiar. The distractions may have been comforting. They may have provided a sense of identity. But when God steps in, he is doing it because he sees what's ahead. He knows that you cannot carry unnecessary baggage into the next chapter of your life. He knows that if you are too busy chasing after temporary things, you will miss the eternal purpose he has set for you. This is a season of refinement. A season where God is training you to hear him above the noise. He is teaching you to recognize his guidance without interference. He is stripping away anything that does not align with the future he has planned for you. And while it may feel uncomfortable, it is necessary. When the distractions are gone, you will find clarity. You will begin to hear God's voice in ways you never have before. You will gain wisdom that was previously drowned out by the noise of the world. You will start to see doors open that you never expected because now you are walking in alignment with God's will. This is not an accident. This is a divine shift. God is setting you apart because he is preparing something greater. He is leading you into a deeper level of faith, a stronger sense of purpose, and a clearer vision for your life. The distractions were never meant to define you. The noise was never meant to control you. God is pulling you away from it all so that you can step into the life he created you to live. When God pulls you into solitude, it is not to weaken you, but to strengthen you in ways that only silence and stillness can. It is in the quiet, away from the opinions of others, away from the expectations of the world, that your faith is tested, refined, and made unshakable. Faith is not built in comfort. It is built in the moments where you have no choice but to trust God, when there is no safety net except his promises, no reassurance except his word, and no path forward except the one he lays out step by step. Solitude is where faith grows deep roots. It is where you learn to rely on God, not just when things are going well, but when everything feels uncertain. When the crowd disappears, when the distractions fade, and when the people you once leaned on are no longer there, you begin to understand that your true source of strength never came from them in the first place. It has always been God. He is the one who sustains you, who provides for you, who fights for you when you cannot fight for yourself. Think about the great men and women of faith. Moses stood on the mountain alone when God gave him the commandments. Elijah was in the wilderness when he heard the still small voice of God. Jesus himself withdrew to pray, spending time in solitude before facing the greatest challenges of his mission. It is in isolation that God prepares his people for what is ahead. There are things that God wants to teach you that cannot be learned in a crowd. There are lessons that can only be grasped when you are alone with him. When your heart is fully open and when your spirit is completely dependent on his guidance. In solitude, faith is no longer about what you have heard from others. It becomes personal. It becomes something unbreakable because it is built through direct experience with God. Faith is strengthened in the moments when you do not see the answer, but still choose to believe. It is strengthened when doors close, but you trust that God has something better. It is strengthened when people walk away, but you know that God never will. When you are isolated, when you feel like you are walking through a season of loneliness, that is when God is doing his greatest work in you. Solitude teaches you resilience. It forces you to stop looking for external validation and start relying on internal conviction. When there is no one else to encourage you, you learn to encourage yourself in the Lord. When there is no one to push you forward, you learn to take steps of faith even when they do not make sense. And when there is no one to hold your hand, you realize that God has been holding you the entire time. This season is not meant to break you, it is meant to build you. It is meant to strengthen the foundation of your faith so that nothing can shake it. Because when you come out of this, when the doors open, when the blessings start to flow, you will not be the same person you were before. You will be stronger, wiser, more disciplined, and more prepared for the calling God has placed on your life. You will not just have faith, you will have the kind of faith that can withstand anything. This is why God isolates you. Not to harm you, not to punish you, but to fortify you. He is making sure that when he blesses you, when he takes you to the next level, when he opens the doors that no man can shut, you will be ready. Because faith is not just believing when things are easy, it is standing firm when everything around you says to give up. And when you learn to stand in solitude, nothing will be able to shake you. The wilderness is not a place of punishment, it is a place of transformation. It is the space where God does his greatest work in your life, molding you, shaping you, refining you. It is where he strips away everything that is unnecessary, everything that is weighing you down, so that when the time comes for you to step into your purpose, you are ready. The wilderness is where growth happens, where strength is built, where character is tested, and where faith is solidified. It is a place of solitude, of uncertainty, of waiting, but it is also a place of preparation. Nobody likes the wilderness. It is uncomfortable, it is lonely, it feels like nothing is moving forward, like you are stuck in a season with no clear direction. You pray, but the answers do not come right away. You work, but the results do not appear instantly. You believe, but the breakthrough still seems far off. And in those moments, doubt tries to creep in. You start to wonder if God has forgotten you, if he is even listening, if all the effort you have put in is for nothing. But let me tell you, God has not forgotten you. He is not ignoring you. He has not abandoned you in the wilderness. He has placed you there for a reason. Because there are things you can only learn in isolation. There are strengths that can only be developed in the struggle. There is wisdom that can only come from experience. And there are levels of faith that can only be reached when you have nothing to rely on but God himself. Look at the pattern in Scripture. Every great leader, every strong warrior, every powerful servant of God had a wilderness season. Moses spent years in the desert before leading the Israelites to freedom. Joseph was thrown into a pit and locked in prison before he became a ruler. David was anointed as king but had to run for his life before he could sit on the throne. Even Jesus spent time in the wilderness before beginning his ministry. Why? Because the wilderness is where God prepares you for what is coming next. It is where he removes distractions, where he teaches you to trust him fully, where he strengthens your spirit so that when you step into your blessing, you do not crumble under the weight of it. Growth does not happen in comfort. It does not happen when everything is easy. It happens when you are tested, when you are stretched, when you are pushed beyond what you thought you were capable of. You may feel like nothing is happening, but something is happening beneath the surface. God is working on you. He is refining your patience, teaching you perseverance, deepening your faith. He is molding you into the person you need to be to handle what he has planned for you. Because the truth is, if you received your blessing too soon, you might not be able to sustain it. If you stepped into your purpose before you were ready, you might not have the strength to carry it. This season is not about keeping you in struggle. It is about preparing you for victory. The wilderness is temporary. It is a process. It is a necessary part of the journey. And if you embrace it, if you trust what God is doing, even when you do not understand it, you will come out stronger, wiser, and more equipped than ever before. Growth happens in the wilderness. Strength is built in the struggle. And when God finally leads you out of this place, when he opens the doors he has prepared for you, you will realize that every moment of waiting, every challenge, Every hardship was leading you to something greater. Not everyone can go where God is taking you. Not everyone is meant to walk the journey that God has designed specifically for you. When he begins to elevate you, when he starts shifting your life, when he opens doors that no man can shut, there will be a separation. People will fall away. Friendships will fade. Relationships you thought were permanent will suddenly become distant, and it will hurt. It will confuse you. It will make you question what is happening, but you have to understand elevation requires separation. When God is taking you to a higher level, he removes anything and anyone that cannot go with you. He starts revealing who is for you and who is against you. He exposes hidden intentions, unseen motives, and unhealthy connections. He strips away anything that will hinder your growth, anything that will slow you down, anything that will keep you from stepping into the fullness of what he has planned for you. Because not everybody in your life is assigned to your destiny. Some people were only meant to be with you for a season, but you are trying to carry them into a lifetime. Think about it. When a rocket is launched into space, it has boosters attached to it. Those boosters help it break through the atmosphere, help it reach higher altitudes. But at a certain point, those boosters detach. Not because they are bad, not because they are against the rocket, but because their purpose has been fulfilled. If they stayed attached, they would actually weigh the rocket down, keeping it from reaching its full potential. Some people in your life were boosters. They were there to help you through a certain stage. But if you try to hold on to them beyond their purpose, they will start to hold you back. Separation is never easy. We get attached, we build connections, we invest time and energy into people. And when God starts to remove them, we fight it. We try to hold on, we try to fix things, we try to make relationships work that were never meant to last. But what if the very thing you are trying to keep is the thing that is keeping you from your breakthrough? What if the friendship you are fighting for is actually blocked? What if the relationship you refuse to let go of is the one thing standing between you and the next level of your purpose? God is intentional. He does not remove people from your life without reason. He does not allow distance to form without purpose. He does not separate you from certain environments, certain friendships, certain connections just for the sake of it. There is a plan behind the separation. There's a reason he is isolating you, shifting you, elevating you. He sees what you cannot see. He knows what you do not know. And while you may not understand it now, if you trust him, if you surrender to the process, you will look back and realize that every person who left, every door that closed, every situation that changed was actually God protecting you, positioning you, and preparing you for something greater. You cannot fly if you are still chained to the ground. You cannot soar if you are carrying unnecessary weight. You cannot rise if you are holding on to things that are meant to stay behind. So when God starts to separate you, do not resist it. Do not fight it. Do not try to force what he is trying to remove. Instead, trust that he is making room for something better. Trust that he is aligning you with the right people, the right opportunities, the right purpose. Elevation is not just about gaining more. It is about letting go of what no longer serves you. It is about trusting that what God has ahead is far greater than anything he is asking you to release. It is about stepping forward in faith, even when the path is uncertain, knowing that where he is taking you is worth everything you had to leave behind.